anchor in the Mille Miglia. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh, that's why everyone is cheering. It's not for my cars because they think that I'm a vintage car in the Mille Miglia. And that's was great. The best.
On this episode of That Car Show, Lindsey and I sit down with the artist Valentina Trentini, one of the most sought-after names in the collector car world for hand-painted lettering and livery restoration. From race numbers on $1 million 250 GTOs to hand-painted pegasi, I guess it is, on Rod Emory's Outlaws, Valentina's work is all about the details. We talk about how she got started, the craft behind her work, what it's like putting a paintbrush to an extremely valuable car, being housemates at Car Week, and what's next for her. This is a conversation about craftsmanship, car culture, and the people who make great cars even more special. It's Valentina Trentini, and it's That Car Show. Hey, it's That Car Show. Tonight it's me, Ryan Bahrke, and Lindsey Jesch is here, and we've got a fun one because we are joined by someone who's got to be one of the most in-demand people in the collector car world right now. My car friends have been telling me about Valentina Trentini for a long time, and the conversation has usually gone something like, you've got to meet her, you've got to get her on your show, she's super talented, knows everyone, and universally, she's cool as hell. So I think the first person to tell me about you was our mutual friend, Matt Hunter, the soon-to-be new dad with whom I had one too many gin and tonics last night at a dive bar here in Denver. But more recently, Valentina and I got to be housemates along with a bunch of other really cool car people for a few days at Car Week. And I knew then and there that we had to get her on the show. So Valentini, God, I'll edit this. Valentini.
You know when you make up a nickname for somebody, you just mash them together.
That's
it's just
right.
a world of efficiency here.
Everyone does that, so it's not just you.
Right. Valentina Trentini is an artist. In her words, she is an artist preserving the tradition of hand-painted automotive lettering, gold leaf, and signs. She's hugely in demand by some of the biggest names at the highest levels in the car world, friends of ours and people we've had here on the show, whether it's race numbers on a 300 SL Gullwing bound for Pebble, a hand-painted Pegasus on one of our buddy Rod Emory's creations, or stripes on an Alpha. Valentina just does things right, and as a creative person myself who knows that the devil is in the details, I can say that Valentina is the real deal. We're so glad to have her on tonight on That Car Show. Welcome to the show, Valentina.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
So take us back to where this whole thing began.
How did we get here?
Okay. So let's start by the fact that I'm Italian. So I moved to the States like in 2013.
Oh, wow.
I've been a graphic designer. Yeah, it was not like, for me, it's a very long time ago. But, I've been a graphic designer for in my 20s. I always painted my entire life. I started to paint when I was 3 years old, went to art high school, and then decided to travel when I was a teenager. Then, in late 20s, I decided to move to the United States. And I was, burnt out as an artist, and I didn't want to be an artist anymore, so I decided to come to the States. This Italian company gave me a visa, and I was working in a store for them. And 3 years in, I was like, no, I need to be a creative again. I can't take this is too much. So around 2016, 2017, I was browsing on Instagram. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I need to find a job that can put everything I know together. And then I don't know how, but I found out about sign painting. And then I found out about Mike Meyer, which at the time was the only sign painter that was doing workshops and here in the United States. And it was what I, thought, and a lot of other people thought, he was the best sign painter out there. So I reached out to him and I was like, I want to learn from the best of the best. Please teach me. And he was like, well, my workshop was last week and you have to wait another year to do another workshop.
Perfect
and I was
timing,
like,
as
okay.
always.
Yes. I was like, I'm going to power through. I'm going to study on my own. And then I see you next year. So 2017, I did that. I went to Minnesota. He lived in Mazeppa, which is where the hell is Mazeppa? Is, like the saying.
That's the
because
official
it's
town
4
slogan.
houses in the middle of nowhere. Went to his house 1 week for this workshop, and it was like literally the best experience I ever had. Like, he taught me not just about sign painting, but like he transmitted me like his passion, like his energy for like how great this like trade is. And so I decided to like, okay, I want to be a sign painter, blah, blah, blah. Got pregnant with my first daughter. So I was like, okay, we can go to like, I can wait a year and then go to LA Trade Tech, which is community college in LA, and is the only trade college left in the world with a sign painting program.
Oh, wow.
And the program is run since like 1924. So it's the same, exactly the same curriculum since 1924, which, like they added more staff now, but is the base staff is like always the same.
That's incredible.
Got into the program, and then COVID hit. And I was like, 5 weeks in, COVID hit. Wow. And I was like,
once again,
this
perfect
is
timing.
My God. And then my sign painting teacher, Doug Guthrie from the program, he was like, Val, I shouldn't tell you this, but you shouldn't come back. Just like do your own thing. You should do it. You have so many like people that because I was working in a store before in Venice that was like full of celebrities, full of people that, like not really important people, but people that, that have, they were known in LA.
Name recognition, yeah.
Yes. So I was like, okay, let's just try and do my own thing. So I opened Bruschetta Signs in 2020 during the pandemic, during lockdown.
Yeah.
So I was like, fun times. Let's see how.
It is such a great name, by the way. Sorry to interrupt, but it is such a great name.
It's so
Somebody works in branding. I wish I would have thought about.
I know. Me too. I didn't think about that. My friend Ross thought about that.
Okay.
Well done.
Because if you want to know the story, it's a very funny story.
We do.
We were in Mazeppa for that famous workshop with Mike Meyer.
Yeah.
And after a week in Mazeppa in Minnesota, all the food was the same brown color. Everything was fried. And my liver was like, please don't eat any more fried food. Yeah. So I was like, guys, tonight I'm cooking for everyone. I'm going to the grocery store. I'm going to make Italian food for everyone.
Yeah.
So I did, and I made bruschetta. And, bread with tomatoes on top.
Right.
And Ross Hasty was this like 18-year-old kid coming from Scotland, if I'm not wrong. Oh my God, he's going to kill me if I got it wrong. He was a little tipsy, and he was like, I'm going to make a sign for you so you can just, to say thank you. And I was like, great. And he started to paint bruschetta, but he forgot the C. Oh. And so we all looked at it and we were like, oh, that's a great name. Bruschetta, Italian with the brush. Yeah. And we're like, done.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Right?
So
I love that.
Also, Mazeppa sounds Italian, but you're telling me it's not.
Sounds Italian. I think that maybe it's the way that I say it.
That is hilarious.
But yeah.
That is cool.
So we're like, so then I opened Bruschetta Signs during the pandemic. And actually, it went really well because I started to have all these clients that, like, word to mouth, they knew that I left the store. They wanted a sign. And so they called me and I started to paint signs. And then one day I was on Facebook. All the Facebook groups are all the old school sign painters because they don't know how to use Instagram. So they Facebook
tracks,
which is awesome.
I love that.
You have all these 60, 70, 80 years old sign painters that they're awesome. And one of them posted like, oh, if there is a gilder in LA, I have a job for them. And I was like, me, not at all. I did one job for my husband studio. That's it. With gold leaf. And then he was like, no, you don't have the experience, but if you want to assist me, I can teach you. And I was like, great deal. And through this guy, Rod Trees, which then I found out was like an incredible gilder in Encinitas, I met Rod Emory. So he texted Rod and he was like, I have a great sign painter for you that I know that you've been looking for a year and a half. And so Rod texted me and he was like, I see you Thursday at 7 a.m. I was like, great. And on Wednesday morning, he texted me and he was like, I thought you were coming this morning. I was like, nope, tomorrow morning. I never miss an appointment. And then actually that Thursday, I got there at 6:30 instead of 7. And Rod was like, you're my person.
Nice.
You're going to work for me. Of course, like he loved my work, not just because I showed
That
up
helped.
early.
Yeah.
But because Rod works at like what, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning.
Right. The earliest of birds.
Yes. Like now, like I go when I have to paint for him, when I paint for him, I go at 5 a.m. and I love it. I work early and I paint Pegasus for him.
And there's no traffic.
Yes, brava. That's why I do it.
He's a smart guy.
If you've driven in Southern California, you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
And of course, it's so much more than a technical skill because nothing grinds my gears more than seeing a vintage race car with like Helvetica numbers on it, right? I mean, you've got to, you've really got to know the history of typography. You've got to, right? I mean, so,
yes.
it makes so much sense that I'm a graphic designer as well. And so I'm just extra sensitive to that kind of stuff. And every piece of yours that I've seen just nails it. So you do 3 primary types of work, right? So you do the car liveries, you do gold leaf, which gilding, I think is what you called it. And then
Yes.
You do signs. So storefronts, glass windows, windows are glass, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well,
Windows.
You never know. Maybe it's flexi. I don't know.
you can have plexiglass windows. We'll give you a pass on
That's
that,
right. That's right. In your
I don't
rougher
know.
neighborhoods. Yeah, so can you give us an example or walk us through each of those and sort of how do you pivot from one to the next, right? Because they seem like kind of very different things.
Well, now what I do, it's like, sign painting is what I love to do, but I'm starting to do it a little bit less just because the cutter part of my job is way more demanding. And as an Italian, has more history, like there is so much history in the cars and it's like giving the car a second life to like restore the liveries. That's what I really love to do right now. But I studied gold leaf for so long, under Rod Trees, under, oh my God, John Studden. Sorry.
that other guy.
John is not going to like this.
Well, you know what we'll say?
studied,
So, John, every time you said Mike Meyer, I was really having a hard time because Austin Powers just kept popping into my head. So
I know.
we'll say you were
And it's spelled
distracted
in the
by
exact same way.
Yeah.
yeah. You were distracted thinking about
I
Mike
know.
Meyer. So apologies to John.
Right?
But here we are.
Yeah, like for me, it's like, like I studied gold leaf with these guys, like especially with John Studden for so long that I love it. It's such like a therapeutic thing to do, and it's such like like something always goes wrong. Like even like teeny tiny bit thing, they go wrong. Like, and then you have to know how to make it better and how to save the job. Let's say that not every time something is wrong, but you always have to be prepared. Sign painting, I started to like it a little bit less in the sense that a lot of people now, they have so many fonts at their disposal, and they just want to, like design their logo in Canva. And every time I'm like, oh, can you send me your logo like a vector file? They send me Canva in a PNG and he's this big. And I'm like, honey, this is not working, you know?
Like, unless you want the pixelated outline of like,
I'm like, this is
not gonna
not,
work.
that like, it doesn't give me that much joy. So I think that I pivot now like if there is like storefronts with gold leaf that I can design, I'm all about it. Like I did Thunder Road Cafe and Thunder Road Motorcycle in LA. Thunder
Cool.
Road Motorcycle has been there for like 26 years. Max, the owner, is incredible. And in the motorcycle community, everyone knows him. And he was like, hey, this is my logo. Can you do my storefront? You do whatever you want. And it was so fun. And I used so much gold leaf and he was stoked. And, and I changed the lettering of his logo because they were dated and it wasn't the right thing that I thought it wasn't
Sure.
like the
Yeah.
right thing for
Right.
him. But these two storefronts I absolutely love. Like I had lately like clients that they told me like, you do you. Like I love your work, you do you. And that makes me so happy because they trust me as a sign painter, not
Right.
as just a graphic designer. Like it's different between being a sign painter and a graphic designer because you can do, like when you're a graphic designer and you work on a computer is different than foot traffic or cars that they speed in front of your shop and
Right.
they don't see your sign if it's not the right dimension,
Right.
the right thickness of the letter, the right colors, the right emphasis. So
Right.
I like that aspect of my job. I think that cars like a huge part of my work right now. Because I think that I got to the point where I'm not just like, oh, the client is giving me the numbers and I paint them on the car. Now it's like I research the history of the car.
Right.
The client gives me pictures of how the car was, the livery of the car was in that specific year. And then I do a lot of research. It's like it was really hand painted. What was the color? How many coats? Which brush was used? Like how many? Like if the brush strokes were like wide or thin, like narrow.
Yeah.
How big the numbers were compared to the doors or the trunk or the hood. There is like a lot of factors in this kind of work that I absolutely love. And I absolutely love the history of the cars that I paint on. So
Yeah. So what's
That's
the ratio of people who kind of give you free reign versus the people who say like, yeah, I want to make it look like it looked in 1932 or whatever, right? I mean, is it a mix of things or?
well, most of my clients, they want delivery to look exactly how it
Exactly,
looked
yeah.
before
Yeah.
because they are restoring the car to a specific year,
Yeah.
maybe not to a specific year, but a range like, 70 to 72. I don't know when the
Right.
car was
Sure.
racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it's, I think that most of my clients, they just, they have pictures of what they want the car to look. And sometimes are really bad pictures. And I really have to work
I
hard to
believe it.
that's my graphic design skills are like, oh my God, thank goodness. Because I work a lot in Illustrator. I
Sure.
work a lot in Photoshop. There's sometimes that I have one picture of the car and it's like pixelated and it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Those are the really fun ones. Yes. Like
Well,
I'm going to paint on V8 on a Fiat V8 in September, and that one has the Idritz logo. I don't know how you say effervescent in English, effervescente. I don't know. It
No, I
was the
don't know it.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first sponsor.
Okay.
And me and my another client, like Juan from the Goldwing that I painted, were trying to understand if it was really hand painted or if it was a water decal.
Interesting.
Because the thing is like, even if the client wants it hand painted, I can hand paint it. It's not a problem at all. It's just to give them the option. It's like, hey, listen, this was a water decal. We can absolutely paint it. You have the option to choose between the two, knowing the history of your car.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
make an
That's it.
informed decision depending on how
Yeah.
authentic they
Yeah.
want it to be.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I love that you said, you're applying your graphic design skills in trying to sort of like uncover the mystery and the history of the car when the information may not be as prevalent as you would like. And I love when you end up applying skills that you're like, I never thought I was going to use them this way. And like you said, with the gilding, where like something always happens. So you're having to think critically and come up with solutions and problem solve, which is probably not
Yes.
things that people think about when they think about gilding. They're thinking about, you put the gold leaf on and then you go on your way. But I
Then it's
noticed,
done.
Yeah.
I noticed that you had done Clark's, I think, Oyster Bar in Malibu, which is in
Yeah.
like the new center not far from where Malibu Kitchen was. And I remember seeing that center under construction, and I didn't realize until I saw your video that it had opened. So it looks
Oh,
amazing.
nice. See?
And you did, that was gold leaf, correct? Their sign on the window?
Yeah, I did gold leaf. I did a mix of gold leaf and metallic paint, depending on where the sun was hitting. But yeah, that one came out amazing, and it was a very fun project to do. Also because, it's such a humongous place.
Right.
The windows are huge,
The scale
and the
of it
sun really
is,
hits the
yeah.
windows. Yeah, you can see it from like a very
yeah.
from a distance.
Right.
And but the thing is, that's what I was saying. Like, if you're just a graphic designer, you don't have the sign painter's knowledge of how the paint works in the sun. You don't understand, or the gold leaf works in the sun. You don't understand the difference, So yeah, that is like a great example of how sign painting really has an impact on a business.
Right.
It's a sign is the main thing that people are gonna see when they come to your place. And if it's not visible, if it's like 2 inches
Yeah.
big, because you want to try to be so cool, it doesn't do the job. There's so many businesses like nowadays that it's not worth to not be visible. Like, you still
Right.
have to pay rent, you still have to pay your employees, so it's
Yeah.
better if you have
Yeah, it's a lost
pay.
opportunity. And it's fascinating for me to hear like all the thinking behind the sign and almost the science behind it. Like you said, you have to consider the factors of like, if somebody's driving by in their car, you want the sign to be effective, be
Yes.
like legible, catch their attention, draw them in, because like you said, like that's, they always say you only have one shot to make a first impression, and the signs
Yes.
are the business's first impression. And I love hearing
Absolutely.
like how you create something that is effective for what the goals are. That's fascinating.
Thank you. Yeah.
Nothing classier than a gold leaf sign, by the way.
I know,
that
right?
just sets the tone, right? Walking in the door, that's really stepping it up. And I imagine with gold leaf, right? I mean, depending on how you apply it, it catches the light different ways, right? And just things you don't think about. But to bring this back to cars, you deal with some really valuable stuff. So what is that like, putting, paint and paintbrush on, in many cases, these are $1 million plus cars, was there one car that was particularly intimidating or valuable that made you think twice before you start slapping paint on
What was
it?
your most
I
stressful
can't wrap my
job
head
of
around
late?
this.
I am so lucky and sometimes so naive that I don't ask.
Okay.
I don't ask the car. I know the history of the car. But I don't search for how much this car is before painting on it, because it doesn't for me, it just adds so much pressure.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't really matter. I need to do a great job on a $5,000 car or a $40 million car. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Everything has to be the same. But, the first car I painted was for Rod. And it was
No pressure.
Porsche 356 Outlaw. And then that was the only time I asked. And I was like, oh, how much is this car? And it was like, oh, $750 is one of the cheapest one. And I was like, okay.
This one is a
never
bargain.
asked ever again.
Dare I
No.
say worth it? But yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, what happens if you do screw something up? I mean, do you have a period of time where what you're doing can be corrected, or do you just run with it? What is that part of the charm? Or
There
She's
is thank goodness, Like, no, there
Yeah.
is, thank goodness, it's like painting on glass. So
Okay.
thank goodness there is like a window that you have to like that you can wipe
Okay.
it off.
Okay. Okay.
But because I put stuff in my paint, so it dries not really faster, but it dries harder.
Okay.
And I know that I don't have that much time to like wipe it off. I try not to mess it up. But sometimes happens.
Yeah.
And like it happened to me one time that a fly landed on the car,
Of
landed
course.
on the paint, that it was almost dry. Almost dry. So it was a color vermilion that never dries. It takes like 2 days to dry. And this was the second day, and a freaking fly landed on my
Wow. Wow.
beautiful vermilion stripe on a hood. And the car was a single stage car. So every time you touch it, it was crashing. So I was like, this is not fun. And the team that was in the shop looked at me and they were like, I hope to see you tomorrow because I don't think that this is going to end up well. And so
Oh, you're
that
like, this
was
is
not
fine.
it was like I prayed all the gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, it was like I was sweating but I made it work, like actually it came, like I cleaned it and then repainted it
Yeah.
and it actually came out perfectly. And then that was my moment where I was like, well, something can go wrong. Nothing went wrong until now.
Yeah.
Something can go wrong.
Yeah.
And that kept me like, like into this like state of mind where it's like, okay, something can go wrong. You need to slow down. You need to think it through and understand if there is, like the next step. So now I always think like, okay, I'm doing this, and that. Like I think about steps. So if
Yeah.
something goes wrong, I know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the news article here in Denver about a new street sign went up and it was California Street instead of California? It made the national news. Like
No, I
a
didn't.
professional
What?
sign maker, right, created this California, and then they put it up, and none of them noticed. Have you ever misspelled anything and then had to go
No.
back? Or yeah, okay, you probably triple check, unlike these Denver
Like,
City
No.
I would
workers,
never.
right?
Yes. No. But as an Italian, I have
Yeah.
to like absolutely ask
Sure.
3 times if it was spelled correctly because
Right,
Italians
right.
don't spell. We don't spell anything. So it's like, okay,
My people.
yeah, I'm like, okay, can you write it down so I can exactly like,
You're like, I need to just
but
look at it.
no. Yeah, no, it needs to be perfect. Like for me, like the only thing is like on my client, Andrew, we had to like add a T on Elliot because we spelled it without a
Oh.
one T. So I just have to like,
You can just
clean
tack it
it.
on the
It's
end.
really easy.
Yeah.
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 It's- I wish, but I had to like clean up everything and it was a process because it's not, like people think that it's easy to like clean up like hand painted like liveries or it's not. It depends on how the body of your car was painted, which kind of clear coat, which kind of paint. Like there is like a
Right.
lot of different things because chemicals can ruin your car. So you really need to pay a lot of attention. And I know that a lot of people use like, like chemicals to clean up, on cars, but I'm like, I don't know. When I work on a $10 million car, I don't trust it. I don't want to mess up the car. So I'm really attentive and I just do a little bit at a time to like make sure that I don't ruin the car because if not, they have to repaint it. And who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the payoff of not being diligent about that stuff is nobody wins. That's not a situation
no.
anybody wants to be in. But that's where you talk about like the lettering. There was an old Snickers commercial, Ryan may remember this, and I'm definitely dating myself, but it's the idea of like you get so focused on like making the sign that you spell it wrong. And it was this guy lettering the football field for the Chiefs, and he was so focused on like each letter that he wrote the chefs. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And at the end, he's standing there admiring his
Wow.
work, and somebody
Yeah,
walks by and
yeah.
goes, "That's great, but who are the chefs?" And that's how you end up with what was it,
Yeah.
California or California?
California. It has a ring,
California. Oh my God,
to it.
but it's funny, though.
I mean, it sounds like a place in
you're
Italy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It's right next to, what is it, Mazapa? What was, where were you in Minnesota?
It's really funny.
That's a good callback. Nicely done.
Yeah. So what's the process? So I don't have a 250 GTO. I wish I did, but maybe this Porsche behind me, I want the Pegasi on the fenders. What's the process? How do you price this? Like you must have a waiting list, right? I mean, how does this all go down?
Well, yeah, I do have a waiting list now. Thank goodness.
Which is amazing. Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Congratulations.
I'm not happy about it in the sense that I don't like people to wait.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I think it's like imposter syndrome. I still don't believe that I'm an artist and this is my job, you know? Like,
Sure.
I don't know. I think that all the artists are like that. I really hope because I don't want to be the only one. But,
Yeah.
I have a wait list. Like, usually it's like a couple of months. So it really depends. Like, it really depends on the season. If it's before car week is even more because before car week, everyone has their cars that they're, ready and they want their livery painted like right away before a Pebble or before, like Laguna Seca. I don't know.
Well, there's a deadline with that where there might not be otherwise. Yeah. And everybody has the same deadline.
Yeah, it's a good excuse.
It's a good excuse.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, we simply must.
Yeah. But, like for me, it's like, I don't have a price in mind. Like, it's not like, oh, all my packages are this much or all my roundel with numbers are this much. I give like clients a price range. For sure, I don't go less than a certain amount.
Sure.
I started to realize that I have to have a minimum because it took me so many years to get here.
Yeah.
It took me so many years to get fast. It took me so many years to get precise, and it took me so many years to understand how the paint works.
Got it.
And also like how to reproduce these graphics is not easy. It's absolutely not easy. So I'm gonna tell you, like, depending on the project, depending on, how many colors and stuff like that, then I give the client a price range and, we go from there. Of course, I always try to like accommodate my clients, but at the same time, I'm like, I said no to to a client for the first time. And it's a really big name and I felt good to say no. They wanted just numbers slapped on the car and it's not me, I'm really precise. I can do, if you ask me to do like, no, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm like, well, that's not me.
Yeah.
So it's totally okay to go with another painter. It's totally fine. It's not for me. And it actually felt okay. It felt good. And it wasn't the end of the world, so.
Yeah.
Well, and that's such an achievement to get to that point as a business owner where you have the ability to say, this is the quality and level of work that I do, and I'm going to stand by that, and to have the luxury of picking and choosing what you get to work on. That's a huge achievement.
I agree.
Yeah, us creatives are always selling ourselves short, right? I don't know what that is about us, but that's just, we have to break that mentality.
Goes back to the imposter syndrome she was talking about too.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, I think that a big impact on me, it was my husband. Like, my husband owns a visual effects company. He does visual effects for movies. He did Dune 1 and 2.
That's right. We talked about this.
Like he's working on the studio.
Like,
he's been a visual effects artist his entire life, and he has his own company from like 12 years. My husband always told me, you need to think about as a business owner. You're running a business. You're not painting for your friends, and it needs to be, you have to pay for, insurance, car insurance, and this and that. So everything is an expense. So, and it's really easy to go back to the mentality like, oh, but I can do this really fast. But I'm like, God, like, it took me so long to get to this point. So many hours of practicing, and also a lot of connection and networking. Like,
That's it.
I'm
Yeah.
not, I come out as like, I'm not shy. I am extremely shy when I meet someone. I don't want to like bother anyone, which is like, oh my God, what are you talking about? But as an Italian, then the Italian part of me like comes out, and then you're my best friend in 5 minutes. So,
Yeah.
you know,
You just need that little
but I
foot in the
think
door.
that,
I'm the same way.
yeah, it's not easy to like, and especially I tell you, it's not easy for a woman in a man's world, because the car word is a man's word. But I tell you,
Right.
all the men that I met, all my clients were phenomenal with me. Like, they never treated me like, they never like tried to like explain things to me or teach me anything. They always like treated me like, you're the
Well, like an
artist,
equal.
you know
Right.
what you're doing. You like, do whatever you want on my car.
These are millionaires and billionaires and subject matter experts and powerful people. And your reputation is everything, right?
Yeah.
So, that's how you get that next piece of business, right? And yeah, was it last year you were at Pebble Beach doing live painting?
No, I was in Laguna Seca last
Laguna
year.
Seca,
And this year
okay.
too. Like,
Yeah.
Right. I saw the video.
What's
So
that
you
like?
mentioned like getting all the cars ready for Pebble, and that was another video when I was looking at your feed that caught my attention, that you do live painting in the paddock at Laguna Seca, like while the races are going on, I'm assuming. How did
yes.
that come
That's
to be
hardcore,
that
Valentina.
you do
It's
that?
a lot of work and energy.
Right. And like,
It's
what
hot,
is
it's loud,
that? Like, how did it come about that you started doing that? And then what is that experience like for you as the artist?
Well, think that like I painted last year in the paddocks in Laguna Seca because Andrew Larson, my client, like, which wasn't my client at the time, have this like 9/11, Don Burns 9/11, and Greg Burns, which is the son of Don Burns. I don't remember how Andrew and Greg found each other, but it was because of the 9/11 from Greg's father that Andrew bought. And so they wanted to do a documentary about this car coming back to life, and racing again. So that's how Greg found me. And he was like, can you paint in the paddock at Laguna? I was like, yes, I am there. Like, what are you talking about? Think that Laguna Seca for an Italian is the Mecca. Like,
Yeah.
is Valentino Rossi, MotoGP, the best place on earth that an Italian will never gonna see in real life. Because it's like
I
our
love
Sundays,
that.
like watching MotoGP and watching Valentino
Yeah.
Rossi. And so when I went there last year for the first time, it was just like, I was in Disneyland. I was like, this is not real life, and painting live there was amazing. Andrew is the sweetest guy ever. He's a client and a friend. And now we both live in Boulder, and I love it. And I love how when we were in Laguna Seca in the paddock and I was painting, he was stopping everyone and telling everyone about me and giving them my business card. He was my biggest cheerleader. And
He's your
this
hype
year
guy.
too. Yeah,
Everybody
he's
needs a hype guy
incredible.
like Andrew.
Yeah, like he's amazing. Like, he's such a sweet person. And that's what it does for me. And
I love that.
painting at Laguna Seca is just like a really life-changing experience, because what are the chances for a sign painter to paint while F2 or F1 cars from the 90s are racing next to
Right.
you?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Or
Well, and just-
they literally turn on behind you and you jump because you're like,
Right.
oh my God, what did just happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Because nobody else fire in the hole. Yeah.
yeah, like, it's a life-changing experience, but it's also like it drains you. Like, my energy level after 3 hours is just like below my feet. Like, I just too much. But it's a great thing to do, because then all the car people come to you and watch you paint. and you meet amazing people. And that's
Yeah.
why I absolutely love it. And I want to do it next year too. And even if it's a lot, it's really, really good for your soul as a someone that paints on car. It's just like, and but also, you know what it is? It's like going on the track and see
Yeah.
Andrew and all
Oh,
my
yeah.
other client like race. I'm like, this year I had one, two, three cars racing at the same time. And it was just amazing. Like, it was amazing. So I absolutely love Laguna Seca. So
That's
I can only
I love
imagine
that
just
so much.
painting live like that is the best advertisement for yourself. You weren't even a car person, you were saying, necessarily. Like, you didn't grow up with a Ferrari in the garage, like, you know, every
No, I
Italian
did
family
not.
has, right? I mean, I'm kidding. Yeah. It's a Fiat or
I
something, right? Or an Alfa,
absolutely
maybe?
not. My great uncle, he had, but he still has, but he's not here anymore. But
Yeah.
he has a Fiat 500, an original one, in
Oh,
his
cool.
garage that I never drove. And it's a Fiat 500 with like white leather interior, like blue
Oh, neat.
exterior, super cool. Never drove that one. I never been a car person. I always loved old cars. That's
Yeah.
a fact. I never liked new cars. I bought a new car and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. You know, it's a car. I
Yeah.
need to go from
Gets you
A
from
to
A to
B.
B.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But old
Okay,
cars, I always
interesting.
found them fascinating. And when I was 18, my mom got this like due cavalli, is in Italian, is the 2CV something. Renault
Oh, sure.
did it. I don't remember. See, I'm not a car person. That's why I've
A
done it.
Citroen?
It's the one that yeah, like you open the top
Yeah.
and the stick is
Yeah,
on
yeah,
in
yeah. Yeah,
front.
2C, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The Duchevaux?
that's how I
Yeah.
learned how to drive. You know,
Oh,
so
wow.
Italians learn with a stick. We don't do
Yeah, yeah,
automatic.
yeah.
That's
That
good.
is
It builds
So
character.
something, yeah.
yeah, that was my favorite car ever.
Yeah.
And very crazy story. When I was 18, me and my mom, when she was getting dish soap and laundry soap in this factory outside Bologna, like 30 minutes outside Bologna. That's where she was getting her stuff from because they were
Must be some
making it.
soap.
It was really good, but it's not there anymore. Oh my God. So we drove there. And then on the way back, we saw all these people on the side of the road because we took the futa, which was like, you know, it's this road that all these motorcyclists and car people, they drive from Bologna to Firenze, like from Bologna to Florence, because I'm from Bologna. So that's why I was there.
Okay.
And we saw all these people cheering, and I was like, I don't understand. And my mom was like the happiest person on earth, and she was like, "Hey guys, yeah, you like my car?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, "Mom, why
love
there's
that she
like
just leaned
vintage
into
cars
it.
behind us?" And she was like, "Oh, I think we're in the Mille Miglia." And I was like,
that's amazing.
"What?" And she's like, "Oh, that's why everyone is cheering. It's not for my cars because they think that I'm a vintage car in the Mille Miglia." And that
That's
was
great.
the best thing that ever happened between me and my mom. And I always gonna cheer on that memory.
That's
because,
awesome.
You know, it was so much fun.
That's so cool.
That might be my favorite story of the podcast so
Yeah.
far. Like you accidentally stumbled into participating in a leg of the New Amelia.
That's
It was a fun one. I tell you, like it's never gonna happen ever again.
Yeah, that
But
is so
never
cool.
say never. But you know,
Right.
it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
But that's one of those amazing, like we talk about that a lot in my family because the things that we've gotten to experience because of the car world and car people where you're like, I don't know how we got here, but like just keep, it's like you've said where you're like, sure, I can gild, I can like, you just put your hand up and say yes. And like you have the most amazing experiences. So I love that so much.
Yeah, right? I know. Even with Rod, I was like, yeah, of course I can paint on your car.
yeah.
How hard can it be?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Turned
Yeah.
out not that hard. But,
Well, now that you've become a student really of the craft, right? Like doing the research, the history, is there a certain period in time where you think the liveries were just great? Like the shape of the car, the liveries, it was kind of the golden age?
I don't know if it's just like, like a period. Like all the cars that I paint, they're so different one from the other. And the liveries are so, everything that I paint on is so different that actually every time I paint on a car, it's just such a new experience and it's such a new shape and it's such a new curve or the way that the body of the car works. And I don't know if I cannot tell you if there is something a specific livery that it's better or, the best one or
Sure.
I just think that every car that I paint on right now is just literally is so different than the other that I'm starting to understand how those cars work. And I think that I might answer better that question in 3, 4, 5 years I have 250 cars under my belt. And it's
well, then we will expect you to come back.
Ferrari GT, GTO 250 4 times. So now I can tell you that that's the best,
Right. Well, that's one of the beautiful forms, right? Isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
those cars are just gorgeous and I'm a sucker for patina too on something like that. Right?
Yes.
It's just, we should give a shout out to our friends at Fuel Fed in Boulder, who you have gotten to know, Mike Burrows and Jason Meshnick and that crew. How did you get involved with that? Did you just stumble across the event? I mean, did you kind of know what you were getting into when you moved to Boulder? How did that connection come to be?
Well, what happened is that I wanted to be friends on Facebook with all these car communities. And I was like, the Facebook, the algorithm just feeds you of all this stuff. And then one day I just stumbled upon Mike's page for Boulder. And then I was like, one day I'm going to paint at that event. Watch me. And then, and then I met the guys. And then actually, Matt told me about them. And then when I moved to Boulder a few months ago, my friend Anthony, he was like, oh, if you're going to Pebble, you need to meet my friends. My friends are going to Pebble and you should be in the house with them because I didn't have a hotel or anything. I was going by myself. And I just knew that I didn't want to go by myself. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And so actually, Andrew, my client Andrew, a month before Anthony, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put you in contact with Mike."
Nice.
So he did a group text with me and Mike, and it was funny because Mike was like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Did you paint the Jaguar, the D-Type, the red Jaguar D-Type last year?" And I was like, "Yeah. How do you know?" And he was like, "Your name precedes you. I don't know how you
sure,
say that.
no,
Your
that's it.
reputation
Yeah, your legend.
precedes you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did I get it right? That's amazing. So, and I was like, what? And that's when I always think no, what are you talking about? This is not happening. And then Anthony told me about them, and then I called Mike, and the first time that I met him was here at Fuel Fed. And I met him, Mac, and Derek, and they were so nice.
Yeah.
They were like, we can't wait to be in the house together at Pebble. We're going to have so much fun.
You had
And
spreadsheets, right?
Oh
Of
my
the
God.
meals, right?
Love it.
Yeah, it was a big thing.
I
House mother.
got into that house on Thursday evening at 11 p.m. after the worst flight of my life. And I just felt at peace. I was like, man, I'm in a house with friends.
Yeah.
It was amazing. But everyone was amazing. We had such a great experience at Pebble all together. And they came to see me painting in the paddocks, and they met Mike, my friend Mike, that he lives in Monterey. which by the way is like the best person ever because he was a volunteer with his wife for 40 years
Okay.
in Laguna Seca, and he knows everyone.
Sure.
So every 2 meters, sorry, I think in meters, every 2 meters we were meeting someone.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Now I know everyone in Laguna Seca, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. He
But
was the
yeah,
mayor of the track.
so yes. So now I know the guys in Boulder,
Yep.
which is the best ever because now I have a community, like
Right.
now I have my community, the community
Right.
that I love, that loves what I love. And that's why we get along so well, also because even you, like, you guys are amazing people. So how you cannot get along,
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you're kind of. We all speak the same language, and it's
yeah,
just we talk about this all the time. The cars are just sort of the excuse, We just we know you're good people if you're into cars, right? So
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Why not?
Exactly.
How'd you get connected with Vince Finaldi, new Pebble Beach president, who's on our show a few weeks ago? 75th running of Pebble this year, best one yet. I know you've done some work for him, and also Finaldi Incorporated, I think, is his business. Is that right?
Yep.
Yes, like I did not know Vince.
Yeah.
Vince found me. He
Amazing.
actually texted me one day and I was like, yeah, another client.
Yeah.
And then when he was like, oh, I have 2 Ferraris for you to paint on, I was like, I am there. Thing that
Say
I
less,
did not
I'll
know
be
who
there.
Vince was. I do not know who my clients are unless they're like celebrities, like I
Right.
don't know who my clients are, not because I don't want to know, but because sometimes I'm really clueless. Like I
Right.
don't, I'm in the car world for not that long. It's been 6 years, but then now I'm going to events. Now people know me. So it's easier for me,
Right. It's
So
a big place.
he texted me. That I called him, and he was like, I think that I just moved to Boulder by when Vince
Sure.
called me, like literally 2 days before, and he was like, "Can you come next week and paint for me? The cars need to go to the California mill," and I was like, "Okay, I am there." My house was full of boxes.
Oh
I
yeah.
was not even like remotely like settle in, and I flew to Monterey. I had some work in LA before, and then I flew to Monterey, and then I saw these 2 cars. Like he has a 1953 Mondial, and then this friend Ryan, he has a 1951 Ferrari Vignale that was a Pebble this year, and Vince's Ferrari was in front of Casa Ferrari at Pebble this year.
Oh right. Right.
Was the
And it was
Vignale, was it the navy and white one?
No, it's a red one. It's a
Oh, okay.
beautiful red.
I mean, that whole class was
And
just took my breath away. So,
insane.
yeah.
Like that car was, and when he told me this car was multiple times at Mille Miglia, he showed me the history of the car. Actually, before I arrived, he sent me a picture of the car and he was like, "Can you reproduce this?" And I was like, yeah, it was the number 512, which is the time that the car, like started Mille Miglia.
Right.
So I reproduce the numbers, and what I usually do is I draw the numbers by hand and then I scale them more or less that I know what the measurements are. And then I print more measurements just because when you put a number on a car, it's completely different. Like you can tell me the exact measurement, but then when you put the pattern, the paper pattern on the car, it's just not the same. Like you need, like you have curves,
Right.
you have little like, like creases, like you have like stuff that you cannot account for when you give me measurements. So that's why I print multiple
That's
measurements of the
I
same
was
number.
wondering about that. Is like, how do you account for the fact that you're not working on a flat canvas and there's going to be idiosyncrasies?
Yeah, that's why I do that. Like, I just don't, I like to be prepared. I love to go on a job that I'm prepared, that I have everything I need. if I have to paint on a car, like draw on the car,
Yeah.
I can do that. No problem.
Yeah.
But you have specific clients that they really want to see it before it's on the car. So that's why I print paper patterns. I do digital mock-ups. And that's what I did for Vince. For Vince, I did the whole thing. Not knowing, again, who Vince was.
Lo and behold.
Incredible. My God. Seriously clueless. But incredible guy. I got
he's great.
there. He was like literally super nice and amazing with me. And I'm not saying that because now I know who he is or
Right.
because he really was. Like, he really put me at ease.
Yes.
And
yes.
and then I painted the Scuderia shields for the Ferrari Scuderia shields, numbers, and his friend's car in a day and a half. I was,
You were cooking.
I had a day and a half to finish the whole thing. Because then the car had to be like cleaned and taken, somewhere else. So yeah, that was, and that I found out that it was the president of Pebble. And I was like, oh my God, that was
pressure.
very intimidating.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that I didn't know before. And like it was more challenging to work with him because he's a perfectionist, and that's why he's the president of Pebble. And I had to step up, like even my painting had to be spot on. So I'm actually really proud of the Scuderia shields I did on his car and even on Ryan's Ferrari, because they are how they're supposed to be. Like there is literally, like, he took me to the next level. If I have to be honest, like Vince Finaldi took me to the next level. Like, he pushed me to be the best sign painter I could possibly be. So I'm really happy about that. I'm
love
really
that.
very grateful. Very grateful.
Is that your favorite so far of all the cars? Or is there another one where you just say, yeah, that's it.
Oh
that
my
one's the
God.
one.
I don't think I have a favorite because every car, it's like, now
all
I
your
painted-
children. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my
pick a-
God, now I understand car owners. I'm like, now I get it why you have 40 cars, because they're all incredibly amazing. But the latest car I painted on was the Gullwing SL300, the one that got second in his category at
red
Pebble, from one Escalante. And, that car was insane. That car was literally a labor of love. They flew me to Wisconsin to paint it because the car, it was in Wisconsin because Meg and Chris, the two restorer, which is this incredible couple, the smartest people you ever gonna meet.
Where in Wisconsin? Do you recall?
In Shitak. Around Shitak. Let's say that I can say that.
So that's like in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. That's like
in the most beautiful middle of nowhere you can possibly go to.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Huh.
Hills and green. You literally, it felt like I was back in Italy, in like the hills in Bologna or in Tuscany. I was like, what is this place?
Like, wait a minute.
Incredibly beautiful, but literally in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
2.5 hours from Minneapolis. Insane. So I flew there, and that's how, like, I painted the car there, and we became this incredible family. Like, it's a team. It's a family now. Like, they're, like, seriously, like when I tell you, like, oh, these amazing people, he's the best, is that they really are. Like, everyone pushes me to do better and better and better. Chris, the restorer, I work with him so closely that he taught me which kind of additive were working way better for my paint.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. After that, another step, ahead from what I was doing before. Now the consistency of my paint is really spot on, it's incredibly awesome. And that's because of him, Juan, the owner of the car, just pushed me to do the best I could possibly do. And that's why now we're all a family. And that's why, like, if I have a question about a car or how to restore that kind of like livery, I call him. And because he knows a lot about cars, and I'm like,
Yeah.
always need to learn in order to be really good at what you do. And also because you keep your job interesting. If not,
Right.
after a little
Well,
bit,
and I think
it's a
that's one
job.
of the I think that's one of the greatest parts of the car world is there are so many people, like you said, who are so generous with their time and knowledge. And I've been very lucky to sort
Yeah.
of, collect a few of those along my journey too. And it's just, I think it really exemplifies the car community because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like a rising tide lifts all boats. Like you said, everybody's encouraging everybody to level up and like be the best and excel in what we're doing. And it's just, it's such an amazing like feeling and community. So I love hearing that.
I agree. It's just like, I think that it keeps the job interesting. And also like it gives you this opportunity to have a great relationship with another person. And to really learn. Like I love to learn. I love to do workshops. I love to do classes. Like I love to learn from other people. And that's why I, even online on Instagram, I ask 5,000 questions to everyone because maybe I know how to do the same thing you're doing, but maybe you're doing it in a different way. And why not? Like it works both ways. It helps everyone if there is more knowledge out there. So
Right.
that's why I really liked doing that.
You said, how many of these people are amazing and the best, and it's really not an exaggeration. These people, this is really rare air we're playing in here. We're very, very fortunate, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason these people are the stewards of these amazing cars. These are very smart people. These are people who are passionate, right, for their hobby. I mean, these really are some of the neatest people in the world, right, in this world. And now here you are. We talk about this a lot, Lindsey, just how some of the people that come on this show are so fortunate because they're doing exactly what they were meant to do, right?
Yes.
You have found your place in this world, and so many people never get that opportunity, right? They toil away in an office or a factory or whatever, and here
Right.
you are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and it's awesome. And I think how fortunate you are, right, that you found this world.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
cool.
do. I think that I'm starting to realize now how incredibly lucky I am. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm really lucky. And sometimes I'm like, well, I worked so hard to get here.
That's right.
And also like, like I remember a friend of mine, Cisco, who was like, well, like I posted something like, oh, I'm so lucky to do what I do. And he replied to my story like, well, you deserve it. Like
Yeah.
I saw you like coming
Yeah.
from a store, working in a store and getting like, like to paint on cars. You're not lucky. You really worked so
That's
hard to get here.
well,
And
that's why I
that's,
said
Yeah.
fortunate, not lucky.
yeah, that's
Right?
true.
There's a
I should
distinction,
stop
right?
saying
Yeah.
lucky. Like
Yeah.
fortunate is, I
Yeah.
think I was fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time. But also, I think that with Rod, like what he told me at the beginning when we met, he was like, I've been looking for a sign painter for a year and a half. People don't show up or show up late, and I can't take that.
Yeah.
And I showed up before our, the time that he asked me to be there. And
Right.
I found that, my sign painting teacher at LA Trade Tech, Doug Guthrie, he was like, if you're on time, you're late. And that is like in my brain. Every time I go somewhere, I'm like, I do not like to be late and I do not like to be on time. I always like, come, get to a place like early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's not just fortune, it's not just luck. It's like I showed up as a professional.
Right.
And because I'm a woman, I need to do double the work, unfortunately, which is, at the same time, it's okay. Whatever it is, whatever it takes. But if you're a professional and you show that you're a professional, people take you seriously.
Yeah.
And, I think I found it very, very, very important. And that's why I have this career that I absolutely love and that I'm having a lot of fun with. So
And I think you put yourself in a position where when opportunities or introductions or associations like came together for you that, like you said, catapulted you to the next level, you were smart enough to say yes and like put yourself in a position to capitalize on it in the least
yeah.
in the most genuine way, in terms of like, I'm here to do the work and I'm willing to say yes and, like you said, show up early, and now you have this amazing career. But yeah, it was not without effort on your part, and I think that shows.
Agree. Totally agree with you.
And you've also been fortunate to live in two of, I think, my favorite places, and I think Lindsay, yours too, in the U.S., and that's Southern California and Colorado, Boulder.
Yeah.
You know, how's
Yeah.
that transition been? Because both wonderful places, but it's a very different lifestyle, isn't it?
It is like I always wanted to live in Colorado. Since I moved to LA, I was like, okay, in a year I'm moving to Colorado. I was moving every 2 years. Like I
Right.
never lived like, long enough in a place.
Right.
And in my 20s, I was a snowboarder. So I lived in the Alps,
Okay.
but I was
Nice.
traveling a lot. So I chased winter for like so long that LA was a good break because
Yeah.
I needed summer. Like I was like, I can't take another winter. Um, and then I met my husband, and then he's like, no, I'm not moving. But his best friend, Catherine, with her husband, Jonas, live in Boulder. And so we were coming to visit them really often. And since the first time I went to Boulder, I was like, this is where I want to live. I don't like big cities. I want to live in a smaller city, but next to a big airport. So then I can go back to my family and I can travel.
Yeah.
And then after COVID hit, his company started to transition to remote. And now, like he moved his whole company here. So we're like, okay, let's do it. It's great for our kids. Our daughters are thriving in Boulder. Nature is amazing here. But of course, most of my clients are in LA. So what I did is like, I was like, okay, I'm going to keep my studio in LA, in Culver City. So then, I fly back and forth. And then I'm going to open my new studio in Boulder because I have now clients in Boulder because the Colorado car scene is getting bigger and bigger. So, and also I have clients in Michigan, in Wisconsin, on
Yeah.
the East Coast. Like
Yeah.
I have clients everywhere. And I'm like, being in Colorado is kind of easier to like,
Yeah.
if I have to travel other
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
Right.
It's great for
So if I travel to Florida, it's 3 hours. So I have, clients in Florida too. So one is in Florida. So that's why we decided that it would be a good compromise for me, even if I travel a lot. I do travel a lot, and it's not always fun, but I think it's amazing that my daughters can have this amazing lifestyle and I have this amazing lifestyle. But then here and there I travel, which is more
Yeah.
often than not. But,
Yeah.
yeah,
But it's
Yeah.
a
but
good
it's working
balance.
out. It's working out really well. I
Good.
love Boulder. I love
Good.
Colorado. I
Good. We're
I
glad to have you.
absolutely love Colorado.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Cool. What's next for you? What haven't you done you want to do?
I have lots of cars to paint, which is awesome. I might gonna, like nowadays I can't say. Sorry. This I can't say. But I'm
You can
gonna say
share
next
about
time.
it next
It's
time.
that
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's
It's that
embargoed.
good.
That's right.
No, I have lots of cars to paint, which is amazing. And I'm going to have a big mural to paint in LA in October for an architect firm, which I'm really excited about because, like it's a good break.
Right.
And also like I love to paint like large scale murals
Mm.
and it's super fun because I can hire my friends and it's like this
I love that.
team of 5 people and we have a blast. So it's me, Leah, Nick, Wilmer and Katie, and we love being with each other. So that's gonna be a blast.
Cool.
And then actually after I don't even know, like 21 years, 20 years, I started to paint again for myself. So I started to I have this studio in Colorado that I left a huge wall blank and white, nothing on it, no art, nothing. And I can just put my canvases on. And finally, I can paint for myself. And it hasn't happened in so long. And I am so happy that now I found the time for myself, and I
Yeah.
gave, you know, like I took some space from and time from my projects just for me. And I'm really excited about that. I hope, one day to have a gallery show. So watch out, because
Yeah.
I throw it into the universe, so it's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Better
Well, we
believe
will
it.
be
But
there. You got to let us know
Yeah.
when it
yep,
happens.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
that's very exciting for me. I think that I'm
yeah.
really looking forward to that. And yeah, that's what I'm
Like,
really looking forward to. So I'm
well, life is
very
good.
happy.
That's amazing that you're doing that for yourself, because I have a hobby that I recently, not that this is a hobby for you, but in terms of like something that you enjoy
Yeah.
in your free time that's not work, it's hard to find the time for that with life. And like, unless you make it a priority, it can fall by the wayside. And I just picked something back up that I had forgotten how much I enjoy doing it. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's such a breath of fresh air. So I love that. And please do let
Yeah.
us know when you have your gallery show, because I would love to
Yeah.
attend.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree with you. It's also, as a self-employed person, it's very hard not to work all the time and to be like,
Right.
oh, I'm taking 2 weeks just for myself. I'm like, oh my God, like
It's
what's
hard to
gonna happen?
justify. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's I think it's like like artists need that. Like it's really like important for your mental health. I am so precise all the time in my job, literally to the millimeter, that I need that escape to
Yeah.
like be very free and paint like super freely. Nothing, no constrictions, no being precise, no OCD. Will be like, oh my God, this is not a perfect I or a perfect E. Like
Right.
I I think that my brain really needs it. And so I'm very proud of myself for doing that. And it's not easy, because it's like I need to force myself to do it. Not easy.
No.
But I see you at my next show. So,
There you go.
You
I
better
love
believe.
it.
And will we see you at Fuel Fed this weekend? This will go out on Friday the
yes.
28th. So, right, last Sunday of every month, Fuel Fed in Boulder. You
It's
gonna
going to
make
be
it?
on the 30th in the morning. What is it?
Yeah.
8 to 10 a.m., 8 to 10:30.
That sounds right. It's very early
It's very
when you
early.
live in Denver, but yeah.
I know. But I
I mean, the
love it
best
because
car
my
stuff
brother
is.
from Italy is here. So I can finally take him to one of these events, which he's going to
Awesome.
love.
Awesome.
And actually, I'm taking my friend's kid, which he never been to one, even if they
Okay.
lived in Boulder their whole life. So
Yeah.
it's going to
Yeah.
be really fun. And I always looking forward to like,
Yeah.
Mike's event. So,
Yeah.
and Matt's
Yeah.
event. So
They're the
I'm like,
best. And
That's awesome.
and
yeah.
just to reiterate what you said, we have, I think, one of the best car scenes in the country, if not the world, and it's only getting better. We have things
Agreed.
like Fuel Fed. We have the Colorado Grand here. So many of the best cars and best car people are here. It's just, we're very, very fortunate. I think second only to Southern California, but
Right.
that's okay too.
But very
We like
lucky.
them too. So
Yeah. Well, and the Southern California
Yeah.
car scene has been entrenched and developing
Yeah.
for, so long. I mean, it's such a different animal. There's no competition,
No,
like
that's-
in a, just kind of by the nature of like how long it's been developing.
That's it. That's it. No, it's the mothership for sure, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
All right. Well, we want to be respectful of your time, Valentina, but we really had fun talking with you tonight. Thank you so much, and would love to have you back on down the road
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
I
this
had
was
a
such a
blast.
treat.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
It's been
guys,
fun.
for having me. This was
Thank
like
you.
so awesome. So
Thank
I'm
you.
really, really grateful.
Well,
Well, the
you
feeling is
are
mutual.
awesome, so talented, and it's been fun following your career, and can't wait to see where you go. But for people who are just hearing about you for the first time, where can they find you online and on social media, Valentina?
They can find me on Instagram at Bruschetta Signs, and then on my website, bruschettasigns.com. And that's it. That's how
Awesome.
everyone finds me on Instagram,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
yeah,
It works
yeah,
perfectly.
Yeah,
Makes
awesome.
it easy, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
very easy.
Well,
Yeah.
Valentina Trentini, incredibly talented artist and just good people. Thank you for joining us on That Car Show tonight.
Yeah, we're so
Thank you,
thrilled
guys.
to have you. It was great to meet you this way, and I look forward to meeting you at Pebble next year, but hopefully, at the latest,
Yes.
but hopefully sooner than
Yes.
that in person. But Thank you again for joining us, and thank you to our listeners for joining us and tuning in. We're so thrilled that you're here. We appreciate you listening, telling your enthusiast friends about us, and of course, leaving 5-star reviews. And we appreciate everybody just, spending some time with us every week. So remember to always be driving. We're That Car Show, and we'll see you next week.